Is it possible to see through lies and know when people are lying? Yes, in most cases, it is. In this Vinfo, we will show you how. You will learn the first 3 things to focus on for spotting lies. Soon, you can be a human lie detector. Check it out. Hey all teen voices out there. Lies. We are surrounded by lies. Research indicates that people with a normal social life are lied to up to 200 times a day. One study showed that 60% of adults can't have a 10-minute conversation without lying at least once. And when most people meet strangers, they lie 3 times during the first 10 minutes. Yes, we all lie. It's part of our society. Some lie more and some less. And many times, we lie because we don't want to hurt someone's feelings. Yes, of course I liked your food. It was good. Yeah, you look good in that dress, baby. So is there any way to tell if someone is lying? Yes, there is. In this info and a follow-up, we will try to make you into a human lie detector. But like all things, this skill needs practice and repetition. Okay, so the first thing that's important here is that there is not one single behavior that absolutely will tell you that a person is lying. People show certain behaviors when they're nervous or feel uncomfortable, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they are lying. So when we look for signs of lying, we need to look for several signs, so-called clusters of signs. The more signs, and the stronger each sign is, the more likely it is that the person is lying. Before we can tell if a person is lying, we need to know the person's normal behavior. In lie detection terms, this is called establishing a baseline. You have probably seen this in movies, where someone is hooked up to a lie detector and the interrogator first asks some simple questions. This is done to see how the person reacts when he or she is telling the truth. So the better we know how a person normally looks, moves, talks, and reacts, the easier it is to notice the changes in behavior when the person is lying. There are 6 basic things to focus on for spotting lies: face, body, voice, story, language, and evasive behaviors. In this info, part 1, we will cover the first 3 of these. And in the next one, part 2, we will cover the last 3. Number 1, reading the face. Here are the easy to spot signs that a person might be lying. Change in blink rate, usually more rapid. Eyes darting back and forth. Closing eyes for more than 1 second at a time. Lip compression. Pursed lips. Blushing. Excessive sweating. Also, look out for fake smiles. They are often used to camouflage negative feelings. Fake smiles are easy to spot. The mouth is smiling, but the eyes aren't. In a real smile, eyes get narrowed, and there are wrinkles beside the eyes. There are also some complex face reading techniques that I need to mention. They are very efficient, but you need to learn and practice a lot before you can use them. Facial microexpressions. The face is linked to our body's nervous system, and when we think and feel something, that very often shows up in the face as small muscle reactions. For the trained eye, this can show what a person really feels at the time, and that might be in total contrast to what he or she is saying. If this interests you, I suggest that you study it more. Eye accessing cues. This is part of neuro-linguistic programming, or in short, NLP. Our eyes are linked to our brain activity. For instance, when someone is asked to remember something visually, eyes tend to move up to the left for most right-handed people. There is a lot to learn here, and if you're interested, you should look for more information. Number 2, reading the body. Most people think that fidgeting with hands and looking away are signs of lying. However, even liars have heard about this. Therefore, today, the opposite often applies. People that lie tend to look a little too much into the eyes, and they also tend to stop moving their hands and the upper body, all to appear to be honest. I am telling the truth. I am. I am telling the truth. One of the most important body moves is the head shaking. It's very hard to say yes and shake your head sideways at the same time. Go ahead, try it. Yes, 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 yes. And it's also hard to say no and nod the head up and down. So, if a person is saying, I like the food very much while shaking the head sideways, it's probably a lie. The head shows what's really happening inside. But be careful here. Again, the head shaking shows what a person feels inside. So if you asked, do you like me? And the person you asked feels they can't believe that you had to ask such a silly question, then their head might shake sideways in surprise and disbelief while they say, I like you very much. Here are more body behaviors that might show up when a person is lying to a direct question. Change in movement in hands, feet, or upper body, either from moving to still or from still to moving. Small shoulder shrugging. This normally suggests a fake emotion. Body and feet directions. If a person turns the body or feet away, often in the direction to the door, it shows that he or she really wants to leave. Face touching. Almost all face touching is a sign that a person is uncomfortable. One exception is touching the chin. Chin touching is a sign of honesty and interest. Neck touching. Ventilating behaviors, such as loosening the collar. Grooming gestures, such as fixing with hair or clothes. Number 3, reading the voice. When a person gets nervous, it often leads to a change in the way that he or she speaks. Most common is talking faster and in a more high-pitched voice. And there can also be speech errors, coughs, and similar. Again, it's important to look for any change from normal behavior. We have now covered the first 3 things to focus on for finding out if someone is lying. But many of these behaviors can show up even when someone is telling the truth. People can feel uncomfortable or nervous for many reasons. Remember that you normally need several signs to be sure that someone is lying. That's all for now. Be good to each other out there.